Hello gamers, my name is Seated Gamer and welcome back to another Aether Revolt booster opening video. See, today, because I'm just such a good drafter, we have not one, not two, I did not think this through, but we have 3 Aether Revolt boosters. 3 of them. It's going to be glorious. We're gonna try and get through them quickly, because otherwise I'm just going to be out of breath and with a sore throat by the end of this, but let's just go through them, see what we get. We're just gonna kind of speed through these commons. Take into custody when everything gets focused properly. There we go. Single blue mana for an instant. Tap target creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Good control spell. Bastion Enforcer. 2 and a white for a 3/2 dwarf soldier. He sure does crew vehicles. Shock. Red. Instant. 2 damage to target creature or player. Good card. Daring Demolition. 2 black, sorcery, destroy target creature or vehicle. Bye bye their best creature. Natural Obsolescence. 1 and a green, instant. Put target artifact on the bottom of its owner's library. Bye bye best artifact. Fenhauler. 6 and a black for a 5/5 insect with improvise and can't be blocked by artifact creatures. Not sure what to think about this guy. Could be okay, not sure. Need to be in like a black-blue artifact deck, I reckon. Yeah. Implement of Examination. 3 mana for an artifact. Pay blue, sacrifice it, draw a card. When Implement of Examination is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. That's 4 mana for draw cards. That's okay, I guess. Aegis Automaton. 2 mana for a 0/3 artifact creature construct. Pay 4 and a white, return another target creature you control to its owner's hand. Seems okay for Revolt, but not really at all. Implement of Ferocity. 1 mana artifact. Pay a green, sack it, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Activate this ability only any time you can cast a sorcery, and when it's put into a graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. This is very nice. Paying 2 mana to give a creature a +1/+1 counter and draw a card just sounds very nice. Unfortunately, this doesn't quite mess with combat math, but yeah, they can't all be the best magic card ever. Untethered Express, it's the Dino Train. 4 mana for a 4/4 vehicle with trample. Whenever it attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it and crew 1. This thing is absolutely ridiculous and I love it. It's just such a good card. Anyway, we also have Ironclad Revolutionary. 4 black for a 4/4 Aetherborn Artificer. Hang on, I think we are slightly out of focus. Give me a moment. There we are. 4 black for a 4/4 Aetherborn Artificer. When it enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, he gets 2 +1/+1 counters and each opponent loses 2 life. Probably fine. Probably fine. Anyway, last uncommon. Servo Schematic. 2 mana artifact. When it enters or is put into a graveyard, when it enters the battlefield or is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, make a 1/1 servo. He works well with, funnily enough, this guy, because you can sack an artifact when he enters, and that is the perfect artifact to sacrifice. This thing was built to be sacrificed. Alright. Now, moving on, we should have our rare Glint Sleeve Siphoner. 1 and a black for a 2/1 human rogue with menace. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, you get 1 energy. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may pay 2 energy. If you do, you draw a card and lose a life. And we have a foil. We have, a foil mountain. And a regular mountain. And a servo, probably on a mountain. But yeah, so Glint Sleeve Siphoner. Wow, what is with the focus today? Glint Sleeve Siphoner. That's some pretty nice art. Yeah, something's wrong with my focus. Alright, and the foil mountain. Not a terrible pull either. But we are just going to move right along. Let's just move these commons and uncommons and land and token out the way. These 2 can go off to the side here. And we will open booster number 2. Alright, let's see what we get. Again, just going to power through these commons. As soon as we can get that wrapping out of the way. Alright. Looks like first up we have an Ether Swooper. 1 and a blue for a 1/2 Vidalcan Artificer with flying. When it enters, you get 2 energy. When it attacks, you may pay 2 energy to make a 1/1 servo. He's fine. We get Alley Evasion. Single white mana, instant. Choose one. Target creature you control gets +1/+2 until end of turn. Return target creature you control to its owner's hand. It's combat trick. It does combat trick things. Chandra's Revolution. 3 and a red sorcery. Chandra's Revolution deals 4 damage to target creature. And tap target land. That land doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Yeah, this is a good removal spell, and this is a good tempo spell. It gets rid of a creature that they spent probably their last turn's mana on, and it stops them from casting a higher converted mana cost creature. So yeah, this is fine. Next up, Resourceful Return. 1 and a black sorcery. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. If you control an artifact, draw a card. Yeah, it's good. It's sort of like a regrowth, and that's fine. Next up, Druid of the Cowl. 1 and a green for a 1/3 elf druid that taps for green mana. It's a mana dork. Alley Strangler. 2 and a black for a 2/3 Aetherborn rogue with menace. It can get through for 2 damage sometimes. And if it doesn't, then it does combat damage. Or it crews vehicles. It does something most of the time. Countless Gears Renegade. 1 and a white for a 2/2 Dwarf Artificer. If Revolt triggers, you make a 1/1 colorless servo. He sure can make a servo every now and again. That's pretty much it. Next up, Implement of Malice. 2 mana artifact. Pay black and sacrifice it. Target player discards a card. Activate this ability only anytime you cast a sorcery. And as with all the implements, when it goes into a graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Reservoir Walker. 5 mana 3/3. When it enters, you gain 3 life and get 3 energy. You're not playing this for its power and toughness, you're playing it for its life and energy. Incidental life gain is pretty okay in draft. Moving on, Deft Dismissal. 3 and a white for an instant. Deft Dismissal deals 3 damage divided as you choose among 1, 2, or 3 target attacking or blocking creatures. This gets rid of 3 servos. Winding Constrictor. Now there's a good card. Black and a green for a 2/3 Sneck. If 1 or more counters would be placed on an artifact or creature you control, that many of those counters +1 are placed on that permanent instead. And if you would get 1 or more counters, you get that many of those counters +1 instead. He just likes things getting bigger. So +1/+1 counters, just a little bit more. Energy counters, just a little bit more. He's fun. He's fine. Moving on though. Aerial Modification. Speaking of good magic cards, 4 and a white for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature or vehicle. As long as enchanted permanent is a vehicle, it's a creature in addition to its other types. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has flying. If you have a big vehicle but no way to crew it, look no further than Aerial Modification. In stores now. Yeah, this is a very good magic card. This has won me many a game. Yeah. Good card. Moving on to our rare though. Rishkar, Pima Renegade. 2 and a green for a 2/2 elf druid. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each up to 2 target creatures, and each creature you control with a counter on it has tapped to add green to your mana pool. That works really well with the Winding Constrictor. Like, so goddamn well. But yeah, do we have a foil? We have a foil Implement of Malice. Hey, that's 2 from the pack. And we also get an island and a Thopter. But yeah, so that's 2 foils from 2 packs. Can we go for the hat trick? There we go, right way around. Aether Revolt Booster number 3. Let's just move this over here so we get a nice little backdrop. There we are. Alright. And hey, we've seen this card before. It's Alley Evasion. It's Chandra's Revolution. Metallic Rebuke. 2 and a blue instant with Improvise. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 3. If you have any untapped artifacts, this is a mana leak. If you have 2 untapped artifacts, this is a 1 mana leak. And that's honestly just fine. This is a good card. Sometimes. I feel like this probably wants to be in what is it? Affinity? I feel like it might work there, but I'm not sure. Moving on though. Unbridled Growth, single green mana, enchantment, aura, enchant land. Enchanted land can tap for any color of mana. Sacrifice Unbridled Growth to draw a card. This works very well for triggering Revolt and for fixing your mana early on, proving yet again that green is the best for mana. Moving on. Fourth Bridge Prowler, single black mana for a 1/1 human rogue. When it enters the battlefield, you may have target servo get -1/-1 till end of turn. That's not the actual words, but that might as well be the actual words. Yeah, you're not usually playing this on turn 1, unless they have also played a Fourth Bridge Prowler, but yeah. Moving on. Prize Fighter Construct, 5 mana for a 6/2, that's bad. Bastion Inventor, 5 and a blue for a 4/4 Vidalcan Artificer with Improvise and Hexproof. Hexproof can be pretty good, like, this gets around every kill spell. Every single target kill spell. And that's pretty much all the kill spells that are in this format, so yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Moving on though. Renegade Map, hey, this triggers Revolt real well. Single mana artifact, Renegade Map enters the battlefield tapped. You can tap and sacrifice Renegade Map to search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. Triggers Revolt real well. Turn 1 this, turn 2 whatever the Revolt guy is that makes a servo. Beautiful, you're golden. Moving on though. Welder Automaton, 2 mana for a 2/1 artifact creature construct. Pay 3 and a red to deal 1 damage to each opponent. I mean, yeah, it does red things, I guess. It's better than the white one, in my opinion, but yeah. Moving on. Lathnu Sailback, 4 and a red for a 5/4 lizard. It's better than the Prizefighter construct, usually, because 4 toughness is worth. Moving on though. Outland Boar, 2 red green for a 4/4 boar. Outland Boar can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Yeah, it's a boar. It does punch you in the face things. Not Gruul, then die. Renegade Wheelsmith, hey, he was in the last video. Whenever he's a 1 red and a white for a 3/2 dwarf pilot, whenever he becomes tapped, target creature can't block this turn. He crews vehicles well, he also just attacks nicely sometimes. But yeah, last uncommon is Enraged Giant, 5 and a red for a 4/4 giant with Improvise, Trample, and Haste. So this guy is usually coming down earlier than turn 6. Ideally, you probably want him turn 4, so if you get something like a, what is it? If you go turn 1 Burmak Courier or any implement, not any implement, any of the 1 mana implements, turn 2, you go for, let's see, Cogworker's Puzzle, that gets you an artifact and the servo. Then turn 3, play your 3rd mana, tap 3 mana and your 3 artifacts. Boom, Enraged Giant, turn 3, 4/4 Trample Haste. That seems fine. Moving on though. Our rare is Merchant's Dockhand, 1 mana for a 1/2 artifact creature construct. Pay 3 and a blue and tap. Tap X untapped artifacts you control. Look at the top X cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Yeah, this is also a good one for turn 1 with Enraged Giant. Because if turn 4 you play a blue mana, you can just look at the top 2 cards and put 1 of them into your hand. And that's just fine. That is just fine. But yeah, it doesn't look like we get a foil with this one, just a Swamp and a Thopter. So yeah, pretty good cards. We got the Glint Sleeve, Merchant's Dockhand, and Pima. Oh, Rishkar, Pima Renegade. So, I'm pretty happy with the... Oh, careful there. Pretty happy with those pulls. Also, the foils were pretty nice. Still no Ornithopter, unfortunately. But we will get there eventually. Mark my words. We will eventually get an Ornithopter. But yeah, that's going to be it for this particular booster opening video. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you hopefully next week for some more boosters. Bye!